I think I might just start off with Thoughtseize. I think it's the best card in the pack. I don't know, just cheap interaction's so good. I really like the highly interactive, like, Dimir decks. Um, wow, this pack's good too. There are three cards that really stand out to me. Liliana, Tundra, and Preordain. So I don't necessarily know I'm going to be blue-black, although these decks do tend to end up blue-black pretty often. I might just take the Liliana. Liliana gives me a discard outlet in case I want to do, like, Reanimator. She's pretty good in these, like, disruptive decks because she just plays... She fills a lot of roles, right? She can attack your opponent's hand. She can make your opponent sacrifice creatures. If your opponent doesn't have an answer to her, her ultimate threatens, like, pretty quickly because she comes down on 3. So I think I'm going to take Liliana of the Veil here. If this were pack 1, pick 1, I think I would just grab Preordain. But we'll take the Liliana and see what we can do. Wow, another really strong pack. Man, I could have had Ren and 6 Crucible of Worlds Wasteland. As it is, there's an Underground Sea, which in those disruptive blue-black decks, really nice. There's an Entomb. If I wanted to try to do some Reanimator thing, I could just, like, push really hard for that and take Entomb. I think I'm going to take Underground Sea. It leaves me the most open. The Reanimator decks often end up blue-black anyways, and just having good mana is so good. Yeah, I'll take the Underground Sea. Ooh, well, we got a few options here. Imperial Seal, Theomancer, Overgrown Tomb. I think I might just take the Tropical Island, though. There's, like, a chance we wield the Thoughtseize, and I often like making, like, Sultai Thoughtseize decks. Or, sorry, the Birthing Pod and making Sultai Birthing Pod decks. Oh, the Ramen Up Excavator, the Land Destruction deck. Someone's getting hooked up with the Land Destruction deck, and I wish them the best for it. Or with it. I think Venser's what I want. So I'll go Golgari Signet. On-color Signets are nice, especially if they're... especially if I end up doing some kind of 3-color deck, but I don't know if I'm green or not yet. The Tropical Island was a pretty speculative pick. I'll take the Venser. Wow. That's a late Raphelos. We haven't seen too much black these last couple of packs. I might just take this Raphelos. If I wanted to try to do the Birthing Pod thing, I would probably take Gilded Goose. I'm going to take Raphelos, and, like, a pick 6 Raphelos means that mono green is probably just, like, wide open. So the opportunity cost is pretty low here. I'm really only giving up on, like, a Gilded Goose. Maybe. Yeah, mono green, super, super open. Natural Order and Craterhoof. I think Natural Order is stronger. I'll take that. Sylvan Caryatid. Okay, looks like we're pivoting to green. Oh, there's the Birthing Pod. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can make Birthing Pod work. Lotus Cobra is good with Birthing Pod. If I were just to do the mono green thing... Okay, so here's kind of a decision point. So if I wanted to be mono green, take Nissa. Nissa's great in the mono green decks. I could just play, like, Raphelos, Caryatid, Natural Order, and just have, like, a really good deck going. But I really like drafting my janky Birthing Pod nonsense decks. So we're gonna play Sultai 3. Yeah, so we're probably off this Raphelos and Natural Order plan. Those cards are too good for our deck. We're not playing good cards in this deck. We're playing fun cards. And we're going to try to make some kind of Sultai Birthing Pod deck work. So what are cards that I am looking for here? Revelark. Revelark can be sweet in Birthing Pod decks. Guess I'll take the Wishclaw Talisman, but I'm not intending to play it. Revelark can be really sweet with Birthing Pod, actually. Like, get back my Venser, get back other things that I don't have yet that I'm anticipating getting. Ooh. Night of Autumn is good in Birthing Pod decks, but I think it's got to be Gilded Goose. I also might not be blue necessarily. I just have like 2 blue lands and a Venser. There's nothing that says I have to be blue, but I'm taking the Gilded Goose because this gives me just fixing and acceleration. Gilded Goose works really well with Birthing Pod because the pod decks often want to get rid of their mana dorks after they've used them for a turn or 2 anyways, and this helps fix my mana for playing all the colors that you end up playing in these Birthing Pod decks. We got a fun brew going on here. So what do we want? There's a Blooming Marsh, but that's not one of the better lands. If we had done the Reanimator, there's a Griselbrand. I think I'm just going to take Tireless Tracker. Tracker seems good. It's not the best thing to work. Like, it doesn't work with Revelark. It doesn't work with Birthing Pod super well. I mean, I can pod into it, and it is just pretty good, but... There's a Vannifar if I wanted a backup Birthing Pod. I could take, like, Taiga if I wanted to make my mana. Like, just go full on 5-color. Could take Yorion. Yorion actually seems like it's got to be sweet in a Birthing Pod deck, right? Yeah, that seems like fun. Let's try to do some Yorion Birthing Pod nonsense. Okay, what do I want here? Oh, wow, we got a lot of good stuff. So there's an Oracle of Moldiah, which is nice. It doesn't have an Enter the Battlefield ability, though, and... I don't know. With Pod, you really want to try to get your ETB effects. Oracle's so good, though. There's also Baleful Strix. Strix is, like, good on both halves of the Pod. Works well with Yorion. Works well with Revelark. Yeah, I think I'll just take the Strix. Hurts me to pass the Oracle, but... There's also a Muldrifter. I'm just going to take the Strix. Fallen Shinobi? That's an interesting one. This could be a Fallen Shinobi deck. Tap or untap target permanent. Pestermite's kind of cute with Birthing Pod, too. You can Pestermite, like, pod into the Pestermite, use Pestermite to untap Pod, so you can skip from, like, 2 to 4. But I'm going to take Fallen Shinobi. We've got a lot of creatures, so it seems like it's going to be pretty good in our deck. Ooh, Gaia's Cradle? We're going to be a very creature-heavy deck, so Gaia's Cradle seems like it's going to be pretty good here. I'll take it. Kitchen Finks, I think? Questing Beast is a stronger card in a vacuum, but with Birthing Pod, Kitchen Finks is a really nice one, because you end up taking a lot of incidental damage off the pod. Ooh, Shriekmaw. Love that. Shriekmaw gives me some removal. Okay, so I'm going to take all the cards that aren't actually in my pod curve out, so that I can just kind of get a clearer picture of what we have going on here. So... We're a little light on 4s. Sling Gang Lieutenant is not a great 4. It's probably just the elf. Thragtusk is good, but we're pretty loaded on 5s already. We don't really need that. Casualties of War is a strong card, but it's pretty hard on our mana. Yeah, I'll just take the elf. Blooming Marsh, like picking that up here, just a little bit more fixing. So fetch lands are good for our deck. We also need a little bit more in like the 3 and 4 area for our pod curve here. That's a Vannifar. Vannifar is like a backup, a worse backup birthing pod. Yeah, I'll take that. Ooh, Muldrifter. Okay. I'll take a Muldrifter. Harmonize? Maelstrom Pulse? I don't think we need Harmonize. I guess I'll take a Maelstrom Pulse. We might end up playing that. I'll play a Hissing Quagmire, probably. We don't need any more 5-drops for that. I'll get that on Burial Rites there. Assassin's Trophy one. Probably not playing both of these. I think I like Maelstrom Pulse better than Assassin's Trophy, but I'm not positive on that. Misty Rainforest seems good. Just some fixing for us here. There's also Cloudskate, which I wouldn't mind, and a Elves of Deep Shadow, which would be good for us, but I'll grab the Misty. So really want to get like a Ravenous Chupacabra would be really good. Anything like we really want some like value hits in this like 2, 3, 4 range for our pod. Because right now our pod does a lot when we get up to 5 and not a ton until then. Well, Gonti's a value hit at 4 that I like. I think I like that. There's also a Savannah that I like and an Arbor Elf, which is good, but I feel like having a good pod curve is just so valuable. This is rough on my mana, but pod decks often have rough mana. I knew what I was getting into. Darkslick Shores? Seems good. I think that's better than Looteril Core, which is just kind of playing at face value for me. I don't need the Acidic Slime. I've already got so many 5s. Yeah, I'll take Darkslick Shores. Golos, you say? Can I Golos? Kind of? Kind of. There's also a Fauna Shaman and a Jiraga Tree Speaker. Although Tree Speaker is not great in this deck, because Tree Speaker is like good in the decks that want to jump from like 1 up to like that are trying to go big. I would play Tree Speaker, but it is probably not great in this deck. I don't know. Fauna Shaman seems like it could be kind of good, having like another toolbox card. We have so many 5s. I don't think we need this Golos. We just have too many 5s already. I'm going to take Fauna Shaman. Kind of acts like a backup birthing pod. Wow. This is a lot of good cards. So there's a Thief of Sanity, which is a really good 3 to pod into. There's a Wall of Blossoms, which is a good 2. There's also a Coalition Relic, which like fixes my mana and ramps me to 5, where a lot of my powerful stuff is. But I think I'll take the Thief of Sanity. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's take the Thief. Opposition? Could this be an opposition deck? Like, we don't have the tokens. We don't have any tokens, but we do have 17 creatures in the deck. Could also just play like a Selesnya Signet to help splash our Revelark. Let's take opposition. That seems like fun. Wormcoil Engine, I think. Having A6 to pot into is really nice because I want to have a way of like sacrificing this Revelark and getting some value. So even though Gargaroth is a much better card than Wormcoil Engine, I think in general, I'm gonna take the engine here. Wow, Deranged Tournament with opposition. There's also Treachery and Sakura Tribe Elder. Gosh, our curve is okay. So let's put stuff back where we're playing it here. Our curve is just really top heavy, but I don't know. Deranged Tournament seems really good. I can even get it back with Revelark, flicker it with Yorion. I'm going to take the Deranged Tournament. Elves of Deep Shadow, I think? I don't think I need this Dragonlord Atarka. I don't need to be able to pot up to 7. That's fine. Elves just helps with my curve a little bit. Niv Mizzet Reborn. Hold up, though. Could I Niv? Can I pot into Niv? That's pretty cool, right? I mean, that seems like fun. I'm finding Strix, Thief, Finks, Pulse, Speaker, Shinobi, Yorion. Yeah, let's do that. I guess I'll play Blood Crypt now to help with the mana on Niv if I ever want to hardcast it. Duretti's strong, but not really what this deck's doing. I'll put the Joraga Tree Speaker in the sideboard, probably. Well, maybe I play it. I don't know. Ooh, I'll probably play Wall of Blossoms. That's a good one in the style of decks. So... okay, how close are we to companioning Yorion? We've got... I don't think we're quite there. You need to, like, we've got too many cards in our sideboard for that, I think. So if I were going to do that, right, then... so I'm going to bring all these up here. 27. So I could play... like Raphelos and Assassin's Trophy, maybe even Natural. What am I, Natural? Natural Order hits Niv Mizzet, actually. That's kind of funny. So I would be doing 30 lands. Yikes, that's half of my deck is lands. That's a little bit too high, I think. Like, if you want a Yorion, you need, like almost your entire thing, especially if you're spending picks on man. Like it's hard to Yorion when you spend 9 picks on lands. All right, let's make a pile there, toss all these in, put Yorion here. Okay, so I have too many 5s. I guess Fallen Shinobi is really kind of like a 4. What can I cut here? And Muldrifter is really kind of like a 3. See, look, my curve looks so much better this way. I just needed to lie to myself a little bit, and everything got better. So this is 12 lands. So I don't need to play this Fauna Shaman. Maybe I don't need the Vannifar. Vannifar is just... it's really slow. I've got 2 4-drops already. 1, 2, 3 3-drops. I could cut the... what am I cutting? Okay, I don't need the Joraga Tree Speaker, because just making a bunch of green mana is not that great anyways. Like, there's diminishing returns on green mana, and oftentimes the... I don't know, just like the... It's better at casting big stuff than it is, like... I like the ability of these elves to, like, ramp me into a quick 3-drop here. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? probably need to make like one more cut, right? This is 15. I think I want this to be like a 16 land deck. Could be like Liliana of the Veil. It's a good card, but it is double black, and it's not a creature. Yeah. I think I like that. This deck seems awesome. I am really excited to try this deck out. Let's do a quick mana source count here. So, I'm not going to play any white lands, I don't think, because I've got Gilded Goose, Lotus Cobra, Sylvan Caryatid, and, well, Bird Pod to get my Revelark and Niv Mizzet. So, and I'm not going to play any red lands. I've got the Blood Crypt, plus all the stuff I was talking about if I wanted to try to cast the Niv Mizzet, but most often it'll just be for potting into. Yeah. Yeah, the curve looks a lot worse when when it's like that. We'll put it back where it makes me feel better. Okay, let's do a green source count. Green, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll count Gaia's Cradle as half. 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5. Okay. Blue, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I wasn't counting these for green sources because, like, I don't have much double green, and I mostly need green to be able to make sure I'm casting those. So that's 9 blue sources. How many black sources? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so I can cut a black source. 2 black sources for 2 green, maybe. Having green is really important, because without green I can't cast most of my spells, because green provides me fixing. Yeah, I think this deck is good. It's certainly fun. I am gonna go ahead and join the queue, and I will see you in round 1. Okay, here we are for round 1 with our Birthing Pod deck. Taking a look at this hand. Yeah, this is a keep. Can Gilded Goose on 1. Can't, or I guess we could Baleful Strix on 2 after that, but it wouldn't be ideal. I think I still want to cast the Goose early. So next turn I'll probably just like play Island Pass or Underground Sea Pass, and make a food with the Goose. Of course, it'll depend on what we draw. Love to draw a Birthing Pod. Fire. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Ooh, there's our Birthing Pod. Well, we can get that going pretty soon here. So, can't play it this turn, but we can play it next turn, or we could play, if they're going to pass with blue, red up, I think I'm going to play a Strix rather than a Pod, because I really don't want to get Birthing Pod countered. That would be a disaster. So, are we getting, like, Vendilion clicked or something? Okay. No click yet. So I'm going to play Underground Sea and Baleful Strix. Okay. Drew a Deranged Hermit. Sure. And I'm hanging on to this Misty Rainforest because I have Tireless Tracker. I think I have a Tireless Tracker in the deck. Probably should have like taken a screenshot before I started. especially since I'm drafting Birthing Pod. I guess worst case I could just look back over my recordings. They still have double blue up. Gosh, I'm just so scared of getting this thing countered. All right, well, I'm gonna play a land and then attack with the Strix and see if they do anything, because this is representing Fallen Shinobi. I don't have it, but I could. Okay. Well, at this point, maybe I will just run out Birthing Pod. And I'll pay the life with the intent of activating Birthing Pod in my second main phase. Sacking the Strix. Okay, they're brainstorming, sure. So that kind of signals to me they might not have a ton of counter magic, because if they did, or single blue counter magic anyways, because if they did, they would probably want to brainstorm while I had Birthing Pod on the stack to try to find their counter magic. Because in Birthing Pod decks, Birthing Pod tends to be like the best card in the deck. And I'm probably grabbing Tireless Tracker here. I can't remember what my other 3-drop was, but I'll take a look here. Or my other 3 drops. Okay, so, that's interesting. So, I could just grab a Thief of Sanity. I don't hate that. Kitchen Finks is resilient to removal. So that can make sure I have something to pod next turn. Although I only have 1 4-drop left in the deck because I drew one of my 4s. I might just grab the Thief of Sanity here. That kind of demands an answer, like, right now. Yeah, I'll take the Thief of Sanity. Because it's not even really that bad if they kill my creature, because then I can just, like, Venser a land, pod Venser into Niv Mizzet. Because most of our good hits are at 5. We can also get back Thief with Revelark at some point here. Revelark seems pretty sweet in our deck. We can get back all of the cards we've played and in our hand so far. Uh-oh. Are we playing against Storm? That could be an explanation for why our opponent's done basically nothing all game. Cryptic Command. Under the Chrome Mox. Tezzeret. Okay. Well, that's not too scary. I can Venser the Tezzeret or whatever they get with it. If they use the minus ability. X0, so they're probably getting a Lotus or a Mox here. Yep, Lotus, sure. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and hit them with the Thief of Sanity, see what's up there. See what we find. Would love to find a counterspell. That would be ideal. Yogwill. I mean, that's kind of sweet. Yeah, I'll take Yogwill. We might just, like, cast a value Yogwill at some point here. So it looks like our opponent is drafting Storm. So what do I want to do with that information? I think I'm going to Birthing Pod to put back the Tezzeret. This cuts them off a little bit of mana, at least. I'll play a land first, because I'm going to play a land after, and this plays around days. So I'm going to Venser, bounce Tezzeret. And then we'll go ahead and pot away this Venser. And grab... probably Niv Mizzet. Yeah, let's grab Niv Mizzet. We hit a Maelstrom Pulse. Okay. That's not the best hit we could have had, but... I mean, Niv is still just like a 6/6 flyer. Like, it is... We have our opponent on a 2-turn clock here. Storm kind of attacks on an axis that's very difficult for this deck to interact with. Like, our deck is pretty good at pressuring planeswalkers and interacting with creatures, but we don't really have a ton of play against Storm. Like, there's not much we can do to disrupt our opponent's game plan. When I was potting just now, I was realizing I might have too many 5-drops. I might like side out the Mole Drifter, and bring in like a Prime Speaker Vannifar or something, just to like smooth my pod curve a little bit, because you don't really want to end up with holes in your curve where you've like drawn both of your 4-drops or something. It's just much nicer if you have a few hits at each mana cost, and I have so many 5s. I have 7 5-drops in the deck. Though in this matchup, I'll probably side out Shriekmaw, because that the kill a creature ability is just not going to be very relevant against a Storm opponent. Gilded Lotus. Okay. I don't think I have a Naturalize effect. I passed up on a Knight of Autumn at one point, which is unfortunate. Okay. And something for 6. Mind Twist X5. That's actually fine. Like, that's actually not the worst. I had more cards than I needed. So just kind of slimmed down my hand a little bit, made my decisions a little easier. Let's hit with both of these, see what my opponent does. I guess we can take Repeal. And we can repeal their Chrome Mox for no cost. So that's pretty cool. So we can pay... Well, I guess technically it costs 1. 5. 1. Just trying to figure out if I wanted to pod this turn. I might just pass up on potting this turn in favor of repealing... Repealing the Chrome Mox. I could also repeal the Gilded Lotus. Some thought to that. Yeah, my opponent's... The thing is, my opponent's not even really dead next turn. I don't have them on a clock that's going to kill them next turn, so I think I'll just... Yeah, I'm just going to repeal the Gilded Lotus, I guess. Yeah. And next turn we can, like, Thoughtseize, Yogg-Will, Thoughtseize, Maelstrom Pulse or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we're choked on black mana, actually. We can't cast Thoughtseize twice, or much less Thoughtseize twice and Maelstrom Pulse. But we'll probably start by Thoughtseizing our opponent next turn. Yep, they're just replaying the Gilded Lotus. Trinket Mage, sure. Yep. Looks like they got a lot of cheap artifacts. They've got at least 2 targets for the Trinket Mage that they've played so far. Do they have... They might be out. It's pretty good for us if they're out. Top. No, top's good. Alright. So I guess let's start by attacking our opponent. So we can get that Thief of Sanity information here. Ugh. Okay. That's not great. Now I will Thought Seize them, see what they got going on. Alright. They scoop. Okay, so, yeah, looking at this curve, I think I want to fill in my 4 slot with a Vannifar and take out Shriekmaw, because it seems pretty bad in this matchup. Like some thought to putting in, like, Liliana, just to have another way of interacting with them. Even, like, take out another one of these 5-drops for, like, a Fauna Shaman or something. Thing is, my deck doesn't really have, like, I don't have that big of a toolbox because I don't have, like, Artifact or Enchantment hate. I really wish I had picked up that Knight of Autumn. I mean, I think I took Gilded Goose over it, which is pretty important to my deck, to be fair. But I am definitely missing a Knight of Autumn here. What if I played Eureka? If my opponent's playing Storm, that could... I mean, it's probably not great. It's probably not great, because my opponent would get to put in, like, Wishclaw Talisman and Gilded Lotus and stuff, but... Assassin's Trophy doesn't seem great, because the things I mostly care about hitting are mana stuff anyways. Liliana's good, but it's so hard on our mana. How many blacks? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe it's not even that hard on our mana. Okay, I'll take out like Muldrifter, because it serves a similar here. No, actually, I'll take out Revelark maybe. No, I'll do a Muldrifter. Muldrifter serves a similar purpose to Niv Mizzet Reborn, but I think Niv's better. And it's possible I might just want to have fewer 5-drops in the main deck as well. Like, I might not be... Muldrifter might be supposed to be in the sideboard for, like, Pride Speaker Vannifar or something. I don't think I can keep this hand. It's just too slow. I really need an accelerant or a piece of interaction. This hand's much better. Probably put back the Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt's just not very important to us. We only have the red in here for Niv Mizzet, and we don't have too many double black spells. So I'll get rid of that. Yeah, turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Wall of Blossoms, turn 3 Birthing Pod. Seems pretty good. I guess swapping out Muldrifter for Vannifar also makes our Niv Mizzet slightly better, because it puts another gold card in the deck. Volcanic Island, sure. Ooh, Elves of Deep Shadow. Well, I think in that case I'll play the Elves. So if I play Elves, the next turn I have 2 mana from that. So next turn I can play Wall plus Thoughtseize. Yeah, that seems good. Oh, no. I gotta tap green. Yeah, so I can go Cradle, tap Cradle Elves for Blossom, Bayou, Thoughtseize. No. Okay, well. That's a little awkward. Oh, less awkward. Okay. Well, I'll just play the Elves of Deep Shadow and Thoughtseize my opponent. Okay. Wow, they're pretty stuck here. I guess I'd take the Trinket Mage, because Trinket Mage can find them Black Lotus, which can then get them to their other stuff. So their hand is Manamorphose, Memory Jar, Cryptic Command, and 1 unknown. Okay, so they Manamorphose. And they whiffed. Oof. That's rough. So I could start activating a pod. That's decent. I could Elves of Deep Shadow to play Wall of Blossoms. I kind of like getting a Liliana going. Is that better than getting a pod going? What am I podding into that's really hurting my opponent? Not too much. So I guess I'll just Liliana of the Veil and probably pitch this island. Brainstorm, sure. So we know they have a Memory Jar. Don't know anything else about their hand. Liliana of the Veil actually seems pretty good in our deck, since our deck is, like, a lot of the things our deck are trying to do are not, play the Birthing Pod. Do not depend on having... Oh! I actually have to go. I had plans that arrived sooner than expected, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to concede this round. Opponent's getting a little gift here. I will see you all in round 2. Okay, here we are for round 2. Sorry I got cut off on round 1 there. My brother was coming into town. He's visiting, and we're doing like a socially distant outdoor hangout. It's a little bit chilly. And he ended up getting here earlier than we expected, so I didn't want to keep him waiting. Figured that seeing my brother from out of town was more important than the video. And normally I wouldn't post a video where I got cut off in the middle, but this deck is just so sweet that I wanted to share my Niv Mizzet Birthing Pod deck with y'all. This hand's interesting. So, it's slow, but if I don't get disrupted, I do have a turn 4 Fallen Shinobi. I've got all my colors, or all my main colors anyways. You know, I think I'll keep. It is pretty painful to have no 1 or 2 drops. Like, that's not great. It's not ideal. Oh, in between rounds, I did end up swapping out one of my 5 drops. I took out the Mole Drifter for the Prime Speaker Vannifar just to make my pod curve a little bit better. And I was considering swapping out another 5 drop for another 1 drop, just because, if you can see what's happening here, my opponent played a 1 drop, and I do not have a 1 drop, and my opponent is in much better spot than I am, so maybe I just should be running my Jiraga Tree Speaker. I think I probably want the one that's in my board over one of my 5 drops. I'm not sure which one. Honestly, it might even be the Fallen Shinobi. Like, just having a better curve, I think, would serve this deck more than having a lot of power up top, because, I don't know, you can always end up with a bunch of power at the top of your curve. Yeah, I'll go land, Tireless Tracker. And if our opponent uses their Wall of Roots, then they don't have a great block against the Tireless Tracker. I guess they don't either way, because I can play a Clue first, so if they don't block the Tireless Tracker, I can Shinobi, which is pretty sweet. Like that. And if they do block it, then, well, I still have Prime Speaker Vannifar going. And I can pod this, like, tracker into Venser, maybe, to interact with whatever my opponent's doing here. Would love to get a Shinobi hit in, though. Might steal some of my opponent's acceleration. If they're leveling up their Tree Speaker, then it looks like they don't have... they might not block the tracker here, because it is, like, I can threaten to crack a Clue, so they're probably not going to block it, actually. Would be my guess, anyways. They did not block it. Heck yeah. Alright. Here comes the Fallen Shinobi. Boom. What do we get? Wasteland, which we can't play, and Elves of Deep Shadow, which is actually pretty good. I don't actually mind Elves of Deep Shadow. I mean, obviously that's not a... Like, this is not a good hit, but Elves of Deep Shadow, it could be a lot worse, because we are a little bit choked on... Like, we've got a lot of good cards in our hand, that we are going to have trouble deploying all of them. Okay, well, whatever this is going way over the top of us. And they even get their Elves of Deep Shadow back? Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, I think moving forward, I might end up swapping this Shinobi out for the Jiraga Tree Speaker just to give my curve a little bit more consistency to it to help my deck. And this one's not really great to pod into. It's more like just good because I'm playing a lot of creatures. Alternatively, I guess I could take out like Revelark. That one's pretty good to pod into, but is very difficult for my deck to hardcast, so maybe that's the cut. Maybe it's Revelark. Okay, so my opponent gets to rebuild faster than I do. That's kind of how Upheaval works. They floated some mana, they get to deploy some of their cards right away before I get a chance to. I do have the Lotus Cobra, though, so it's not terrible. I'd love to draw a fetch land. Not Gonti. I didn't want to draw a Gonti. That's for sure. 10 cards in hand. Okay. So I might pitch the Fallen Shinobi just because now that my opponent knows about it, it's a lot less good. Vannifar is probably a little too slow. Probably going to pitch a land, at least. I got to pitch one more card. Is it Vannifar or Deranged Hermit? You know, if the game goes longer, Vannifar can be pretty good. Maybe I'll pitch the Deranged Hermit. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Because I can play Lotus Cobra next turn, and the following turn play Vannifar, and then I can play, like, Gonti, and then immediately Vannifar it away to go get, like, my Niv Mizzet, or, Shriekmaw, or, Revelark. Getting back Deranged Hermit would be pretty good. Like, I could get back Deranged Hermit and Gonti with a Revelark. Oko. Yikes. Oko's good. Now we really need to find our Maelstrom Pulse. Okay. Blood Crypt is not Maelstrom Pulse. That can confirm. It's unfortunate if I Vannifar now, they can just elk it. Gosh, Oko's so good. This card is so broken. So I'll probably play Gonti because that pressures Oko. Although they can just elk a food and block it. It's not even that. Oh my gosh. Oko's a messed up Magic card. This is just silly. I don't know how we get out of it. I guess drawing Maelstrom Pulse is going to be key, because we really need a way of getting this Oko off the board. It looks like they're playing something big here, too. Oh, Muldrifter evoked. Oh. Oh, no, they tapped the Draga Tree Speaker, and they put a counter on the Wall of Roots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Muldrifter's good. Opponent's playing a really good blue-green deck. Like, this is exactly, like, they got a lot of the one-drop Accelerants. Wall of Roots is really good. And as far as, like, blue cards you want in your blue-green decks, Card Draw, Upheaval, and Oko are some of the better ones you can have. Ooh, and they even have the Breeding Pool. Their deck seems awesome. Petty Theft, my Lotus Cobra. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to concede here. We have 2 lands. They have a Planeswalker and 5 creatures and more lands than us. It's... Don't particularly feel like I need to play that one out. All right. So, I think I just should be playing this Draga Tree Speaker. I might take out the Fallen Shinobi this match, because they've already seen it, and they've got a lot of blockers on the ground. So it becomes a lot less good then. Maybe I swap Muldrifter out for Revelark as well for this match, because Oko's really good against Revelark. Like, elking it makes it lose that text. I want my things to do things when they enter rather than leave. That's better to play around Oko. Yeah, this might just want to be the configuration of my deck moving forward in general, I think. I don't know. Maybe the Fallen Shinobi's okay in the main. I definitely want the Draga Tree Speaker in there. I think I was, like, it's not as good as these other elves are in my deck. I think I still stand by that. Like my other 1-drops are still better just because I have like really heavy mana requirements in other colors, and I have like a lot of 3-drops I want to play, but I don't think I can really pass on playing a 1-drop accelerant in favor. Like, I don't think I want to play a 5-drop over an accelerant when I'm already got a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards that cost 4 or more. Like, the 11th 5-drop or 11th 4 or more cost card has some serious diminishing returns. Could also consider this Liliana. Could do like Liliana over opposition, maybe. Oppositions. You know, I actually don't hate that. You know what? I might make that swap, actually. My thought process, opposition's really good with the range tournament, but we're not really, like, flooding the board so much. We're usually going to have, like, 2 creatures out or something, and they're, I don't know, we don't really want to use Vannifar to opposition. Yeah, I'll play first. Okay, yeah, this hand's great. Love this hand. So, turn 1, Lamwar Elf. Turn 2, we'll have 3 mana. We could play a Tracker. We could play Pod. Probably one of those two. All right. I think I like Pod here. We can play Tracker next turn, play a land, pod the Tracker away. You can go get a Prime Speaker Vannifar and start double potting. That's kind of cute. I don't hate that. So yeah, that'll be fun. And then we can, like, the following turn we can play like Wall of Blossoms, pod that into like a Kitchen Finks, pod the kitchen, and then Vannifar the Kitchen Finks into like Venser to bounce one of their things, maybe. Courser, okay. Oko's on top. Ugh. Ooh, actually, this is great. Yeah. So we can Tireless Tracker, play a land, get a clue. I'm going to pod the Tireless Tracker into a Gonti, and I'm going to steal their Oko. Ho ho ho. Oh, this is awesome. Oko, thank you. Oh, that was so good. And then next turn we can pod Gonti into Niv Mizzet. Probably. Just have a 6/6 flyer. And draw a card or two, probably. Podding into a Niv Mizzet feels pretty good. I gotta say, that's a fun... I am so glad they put Birthing Pod back in the cube. This card brings me so much joy. Yeah, Wall Roots. Sure. Green Sun X1. Okay. Draga Tree Speaker. Sure. Ooh, we even hit a land. Nice. So I guess we attack with the Gonti. If they want to trade like Courser plus Tree Speaker for it, that's fine. I would be pretty happy with that trade. Plus, this way, this puts them to 18 if I get in an attack here, which, like when I'm potting away Gonti into Niv Mizzet, the difference between 18 and 20 is a whole turn, because Niv Mizzet deals damage in increments of 6. Yeah. Okay, so let's Birthing Pod taking damage, sacking Gonti. And we will get, I think, Niv Mizzet? Yeah, it's gotta be Niv Mizzet, right? That just seems too sweet. We hit a Yorion. That's good. Like that. And I think I'll just Oko. What to do with Oko? That's the question. So I could turn my clue into an elk. I could turn one of their things into an elk. Probably the Courser. They have 1, 2, 3, 4. They have access to 4 mana currently. Courser's drawing them cards, kind of. Yeah, I kind of like elking the Courser, I think. You know, if I just make a food, then I can steal one of their mana dorks. Like, I can, if they spend their turn leveling up Draga Tree Speaker, I can just steal it. Yeah, that seems really good. Or I can even steal their Courser. Okay. I talked myself into making a food here. Plus, this way I get a little more information about what's coming with this Courser. Okay, they did hit a land off of it. That's good. Ooh, they got a Wasteland. Nice. Yep. So next turn we can, what are we podding next turn? We could pod Niv Mizzet into a Wormcoil Engine. That's more of a lateral move than anything else. Could Yorion to flicker some stuff, but that doesn't do a ton. We could Wall of Blossoms and then turn that into a Kitchen Finks. What other 3-drops do we have? Yeah, our Tireless Tracker that we already have. Finks. Do we have a third 3-drop? I feel like we had one more, but I'm blanking on what it is right now. Oh, Thief of Sanity, and it's in our hand. Right. I could always Thief of Sanity and pod that into a Venser to bounce something. That's another option. Questing Beast. Yeah, I mean, Questing Beast is pretty good. I'll trade Niv Mizzet for Questing Beast if they offer it here. Yeah. The Niv's not, like, super important to our game plan right now. I mean, it's, like, good, but I want to be able to steal their stuff with this Oko. So let's see. I could steal their Courser. Could steal their Tree Speaker. That cuts them off a couple of mana. Courser seems pretty good, though, drawing cards. I kind of like that. Yeah, let's swap a food for a Courser. Okay, I have a Draga Tree Speaker of my own on top of my library. So, what am I doing? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. 6 mana, 6 mana, 6 mana. So, I could, like, Birthing. I guess I could pod the Courser away and get a Venser and bounce their Tree Speaker. That kind of slows them down a little bit. I want to cast this Thief of Sanity because I'm going to lose access to black mana after this turn. So maybe I go like Thief, pod away their Courser to Venser, bouncing Tree Speaker, and then next turn I can pod Venser away for a Revelark and be ready to get back like Gonti. Yeah, I like that. Let's go like that. We'll sacrifice the Courser. Go get Venser. So that is our last 4-drop, so that's something to be aware of. And yeah, I'm going to bounce the Tree Speaker here. That's the one that represents the biggest mana investment for them. If they want to get it back online, it costs 3 mana. I think we just pass. And if they don't have an answer for this Thief of Sanity, that's also pretty good against them. I mean, that's like... Or just in general, it's pretty good. We can also Shriekmaw next turn. We can Venser... pod away the Venser to get a Shriekmaw. We could even, like, Shriekmaw and then Yorion flicker Shriekmaw. Ooh, that's sweet. Okay. Yeah, they got Wasteland. They use the Wasteland, that can cut us off of being able to Yorion. We can't pot in Yorion anyways, right? As it stands anyways. Plow Under. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Well... I guess I want the Darkslick Shores on top to have access to black still. Oh, but they have Wasteland, so maybe that was silly. Whatever, I did it. So let's Thief. We'll hit them with Thief first and see what we find there. Yep. Craterhoof. Yeah, I'll take a Craterhoof. Okay. Wow, so now the name of the game is going to be trying to get up to Craterhoof and kill them with that. So I kind of like potting the Venser into Revelark. I think I like that. I'm going to Wall of Blossoms to draw a card first because I do want to hit my lands. And I know I have a land on top right now. Plus, having Wall of Blossoms in play has some value to it because I'm going to Yorion in a bit here. We're gonna make a food with Oko, I think. I think I like that better. We could also just like elk one of their. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they have 8 mana currently. So we could put them back to 7. The difference between 7 and 8 is not. I guess there are a couple of good things that cost 8. Yeah, maybe that's worth it. Maybe I want to elk their Avacyn's Pilgrim. I don't know. I guess I'll do that just to cut them off of mana for now. And I'll pay a life, sacrifice the Venser. Oh, crud, I cut the Revelark. Rip. Well, I guess in that case I take Shriekmaw? Or I cut the Revelark. So Shriekmaw. Yeah, Shriekmaw seems good, because they can still... This cuts them off with some more mana here. And if they spend their next turn leveling the Draga Tree Speaker, then I can flicker the Yorion to help deal with that. Okay, this is okay. This works okay. Yep, level up the Tree Speaker. Play a Dryad. That's fine. I don't care about Dryad at all. So, yep, they hit the Darkslick Shores. So that means I can't Yorion next turn. Okay, so... I guess I could elk the Tree Speaker to just keep cutting them off of mana. Well, here, let's attack with the Thief first and see what we hit. Sylvan Library. Okay. Yeah, I think I still like elking the Tree Speaker then. Maybe I elk the Signet? Because I can kill the Tree Speaker with the Shriekmaw. But I guess I can just kill the Wall of Roots with a Shriekmaw. This cuts them off of more mana quicker. Yeah, I'll do that. And then I want to make sure I'm playing my or I want to make sure I have blockers for all these elk that they're going to be sending at Oko here. So I guess I'll play Vannifar. I might not activate the pod this turn because I'm running a little bit light on like pod targets, like things that I am podding away. So yeah, I'll just go land Vannifar. And say go. So our opponent's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Next turn after we Yorion, we can put them down to 4. So we're kind of slowly choking off their mana here. End step. This is sorcery, right? Yeah. So we probably will Prime Speaker away the Yorion for Wormcoil next turn. Ooh, maybe or actually maybe we Birthing Pod. Oh no, we don't have enough mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we need all our mana to Yorion, so that doesn't quite work. I was gonna say we could Birthing Pod the Prime Speaker into a Mole Drifter and then flicker the Mole Drifter with Yorion, but doesn't quite work. Mana Crypt, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got Primeval Titan, Karn Liberated. Okay. Well, that's actually not the worst because we have a lot of permanents that are difficult to deal with. So it's not like we have one thing in particular that hitting does a lot. Yeah, I mean, hitting the Shriekmaw is good because I can't Yorion it now. Okay, so what am I doing now? Well, guess I probably want to Thief hit them, or do I Thief hit Karn? Karn has so much loyalty. That's going to be really hard to deal with. I probably want to Thief hit Karn, because otherwise Karn kills the Thief next turn. This way they can just get like a Caryatid or something with the Karn. Yeah, so I'll attack Karn with the Thief. I guess make a food with Oko, maybe? I do also have to watch my clock here, so I'm going to try to play a little faster. I'm going to attack Karn with the Thief. Okay, then I'm going to play Yorion blinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yorion blinking Elf Thief Wall. Done. And then I think I'll make a food. And I don't even think I really want to Vannifar this Yorion because that makes it so I can't kill Karn next turn because they could just block the Worm Coil and then exile it with Karn. So I don't think I do want to Vannifar the Yorion just yet. So I think I'll just pass there. Yeah. It's not ideal. This Vannifar hasn't really done anything since it's come into play, but sometimes it's like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I'm able to play out my hand, which I guess I can't because they're gonna Karn. So yeah, I'll pitch the elves. I am getting pretty close to Crater Hoofing, though. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's so bad. They Brazen Borrower bounced Oko, so they get back their Oko. Yikes. Okay. Well, now we're really gonna rely on this Crater Hoof to to win us this game, I guess. That's seems like our best bet here. Because that's a rough one. That's a rough one. Yep. I guess on the plus side, they can't cast the Brazen Borrower to block. Okay. So, yeah, they elked Yorion. Yeah, that's good. So I'll probably end up podding Yorion into a maybe I won't. Maybe I'll Vanifar it. Yeah, I'll probably Vanifar Yorion into a Wormcoil in a bit here, but let's start by Thief of Sanity to knock down, I guess, Karn? I don't know, it's actually kind of close. Like, them being able to steal the Thief is pretty sweet, but honestly, if they're stealing the Thief, then that's, like, not even that bad for me, because I have to get the Crater Hoof next turn, so yeah, I guess I'll hit Karn, because that's more likely to attack my mana somehow. Actually, they might minus the Karn if I leave it up. Yeah, I actually think I'm going to hit Oko. I think I'm going to hit Oko, actually. Yeah. Alright, so here I'm going to Vanifar Yorion to go get our Wormcoil. And they'll Karn exile the Wormcoil probably, but that means that we have access to the lands in our hand, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need all of the lands we have. Guess I'll crack the clue. I guess we had protection in that way as well. And we'll go ahead and pod the Wall of Blossoms into a Kitchen Finks. Okay, and we're also out of 3s. The only creatures we have left in our deck are Deranged Hermit, Muldrifter, Baleful Strix, Gilded Goose, Lotus Cobra, and Tree Speaker. Okay. So next turn, as long as they don't disrupt our mana at all, we should be able to kill them with the Crater Hoof. Yep. Okay. Knew that one was coming. That's fine. Mostly just wanted to make sure they didn't, like, Oko steal our Llanowar Elf. That was the thing I was most scared of. Make a food, sure. And I haven't done the math, but I gotta imagine Crater Hoof is lethal. We're just gonna have, like, a bunch of 10/10s, right? Cradle. Okay, well, that taps for a lot. 6, 7. Ooh, you know what? This is actually kind of cute. I'm gonna start by potting my Vanifar into a Deranged Hermit. And then Crater Hoof. Whew, okay. That was a fun game. You know, I might consider Assassin's Trophy against them. having a way of interacting with these planeswalkers seems pretty nice. What would I be swapping for it, though? So, I might make the trade the Muldrifter out for Revelark, because Revelark getting stuff back seems really powerful, right? We've got quite a few things that we would really like to grab back from our graveyard. I guess not. It's like, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But of those, like, 1, 2-ish, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are good. Okay, well, yeah, that actually is still kind of a lot. So we could do Trophy in for Liliana of the Veil, maybe? That's an option. Liliana keeps them off of being able to, like, Crater Hoof, though, because I just, like, make them discard a bunch of the cards in their hand, and it becomes a lot harder for them to build up to stuff. Could consider not doing Deranged Hermit or Revelark and instead putting in the Assassin's Trophy and, like, Muldrifter, maybe? Or the Fallen Shinobi? Yeah, maybe Muldrifter. I'll run it like that, I think. Submit. I have to hit submit or it doesn't do it. I don't. Okay, submission received. Whew. Ooh, I have 6 minutes on the clock too, so I have to play pretty fast here. Hey, this hand does not do a ton, really. I think I might just mulligan. Like, this hand does kind of nothing. I can Assassin Trophy a thing. I have a Lotus Cobra, but, like... Okay, this hand's much better. Because it's, like, the last hand, but I also have a Derogatory Speaker. I'll put back the Darkslick Shores. I've been trying to mulligan a little bit more aggressively. I think that's one of the kind of, like, leaks in my game. I think I historically had a tendency to keep a lot of really sketchy hands. So, like, keeping hands... Like, I think earlier I had a hand where I had, like, a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and a 5-drop or something like that. Or no, it was I had a Tireless Tracker into a Fallen Shinobi, but it's like... So much needs to go right for that hand to work. Like, I need my opponent to not play a blocker or not Fallen Shinobi, not, And in that case, I did get in the hit with the Shinobi, but oftentimes that, I don't know, it seems a little sketchy to just keep a hand that's so slow, and I think I was even on the draw that game. Well, my opponent's got a very fast start. We'll see if they can capitalize on having a lot of mana. So far, just a lot of mana. I think I want to blow up my opponent's Mana Crypt. Maybe not, though. A lot of the things they're ramping into are things I really want to hit with Maelstrom Pulse, so... Like, I guess it's bad if they are able to ramp into a Crater Hoof, but so far this start isn't even great with Crater Hoof. And if they're ramping into Karn, I would really... Like, I would much rather have an answer to Karn than have Karn come out a turn or two later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because, like, I could definitely see my opponent, like, keeping a hand that can, like, accelerate into an early Karn, but just does, like, nothing else, you know? And, well, Harmonize is unfortunate. That is pretty good against... Yeah, Sylvan Library's good. I might have to blow up that Sylvan Library. Just letting that sit in play, they're going to get so much value. Ooh, Vannifar, though. Okay, so... I think I want to get this Vannifar going as early as I can, so I'm going to go ahead and play Vannifar, play a land, and I guess I'll level up the Tree Speaker with this extra mana laying around. So this is kind of scary. Like, I'm pretty vulnerable this turn. They've drawn a lot of cards. They've got a lot of mana, so it is pretty likely that they'll be able to play something like Karn or Craterhoof this turn. Because they've drawn 3 cards with Harmonize, then looked at 2 more with Sylvan Library, so... And between having a lot of mana and having a lot of card selection, it's pretty likely that they'll be able to make something good happen, but having Vannifar on the battlefield feels very important. Like, I can Venser their play and then pod or Vannifar Venser into one of my good 5-drops. Opponent's also at 10. They might just die to their own Mana Crypt here. Like, pressuring my opponent's life total actually seems like a way that I might be able to win this match. Oracle of Moldiah. Okay, that's terrifying. So Oracle plays really well with Sylvan Library because you can put back lands and then play them with the Oracle. Questing Beast. Yeah, I mean, Questing Beast is good. I don't think there's a whole lot I can do about that right now. Okay, so... I guess I'll bounce the Questing Beast and then Prime Speaker, sacking Venser to get a Shriekmaw. To kill the Oracle. Okay. And I can play an elf. I could blow up a thing, but their Sylvan Library's just not doing a ton at this point. I guess I'll level up the Tree Speaker because it is kind of getting close to level 5 here. So my plan is going to be to try to kill them on the ground. Like, they lost the flip. They can't really take any more damage with the Sylvan Library, so it's not doing a ton. So if I just, like, attack them with, like, the Shriekmaw or am able to, like, pod something into another threat, like maybe I can turn this Lotus Cobra into a Thief of Sanity next turn. That would be good. Like, my opponent really needs to find, like, an Oko to make their Mana Crypt not deal them damage anymore. Muldrifter, sure. Yep. Questing Beast, that's fine. Yep, I'll take the hit. I do have to pay attention to my life total. I am getting a little bit low here. Hoo-hoo, Gaia's Cradle. What can I do with a Gaia's Cradle? Not much at the moment, but let's start by Shriekmaw attacking them. Okay. I'll play Gaia's Cradle. Make, I don't know, a green. Level up this Tree Speaker. Sack the Cobra to go get a Thief of Sanity, I think. You know, now that they've got a flyer, actually... Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have played the land. I could have gotten a Tireless Tracker, but as it stands, I think I'm going to get the Kitchen Finks, because now that they have a flyer, the Thief of Sanity is not great, so Kitchen Finks just gaining me life and being something that I can pot away is pretty nice. Oh, although I guess I could have Maelstrom Pulsed the Muldrifter, but this way I can save the Pulse. Don't need to spend it just yet. Yeah, Tireless Tracker would have been really good. That would have been the one to get. Oh no. Is this a Crater Hoof? This feels like a Crater Hoof. Green Sun X8. Yep, it's a Crater Hoof. Okay, they got this one. Alright. Well, we'll go ahead and run it back. You know, actually, before I do that, though, I am going to make that change that I talked about. That is swapping out the Tree Speaker for the Fallen Shinobi and Liliana for, I think, Revelark. And at that point, if I'm not playing Revelark, then I don't think I need the Deranged Hermit so much. That was more for that, so I can do Muldrifter instead, I guess. Yeah. Wow, instantly. This part is slightly less instant. Okay, there we go. I'll be on the play. I can't keep this. Alright, this hand's good. This hand's much better. So, I'll put back... what do I put back here? Maybe a Baleful Strix? Yeah, because I have... Yeah, I'll put back the Baleful Strix. I'll play the Quagmire on turn 1 because I want to be able to Thoughtseize, and having the Gilded Goose out early doesn't do a ton in it. Like, it's not like I'm trying to play... Like, it's really crucial that I play something on 3 mana. And Thoughtseize tends to be, like, I would like to be able to Thoughtseize early to have a sense of what my opponent's deck is doing and how I need to be playing. Just get more information. Like, right now, I don't know if I'm playing against mono red aggro, artifacts. And that information is actually kind of important. Nope. Alright, Thoughtseize. Okay, so we're playing against Storm. So... they got a good hand. What do we take here? Take the Manamorphose. Take the Wheel of Fortune. Although I kind of don't hate them wheeling me into a better hand here. um, Past in Flames, taking that doesn't do a ton because they can just flash it back. I guess I take the Manamorphose. Yeah. I don't know what I'm supposed to take there. That's a tricky tricky hand to Thoughtseize. Lion's Eye Diamond. Okay. Yep. So opponent is probably planning on Wheel of Fortuning and then cracking the Lion's Eye Diamond with Wheel on the stack. Guess I'll hit them for 1 here. Because I'm not doing anything else. I'll have to watch my my opponents. Like if they don't have any other win conditions, I might side into a Yorion companion deck to make it harder to brain freeze me. I would be playing like 30 something lands, which is not ideal. Seething Song. Okay, so they're storming off this turn. So now they'll probably play the... Let's see, if they Past in Flames, that doesn't quite do it. So they'll have to wheel and then crack the Lion's Eye. Oh! Ooh, looks like they misplayed that. I think my opponent wanted to crack the Lion's Eye Diamond with the Wheel of Fortune on the stack. That's pretty rough. Oof. Sorry, opponent. 1, 2, 3. I'll start by playing a Tireless Tracker here. And then I'll play Bayou. Yep. And Liliana of the Veil. And Uptick. I'll pitch this Blooming Marsh because I don't need it anymore. Opponent pitches Commit Memory. Okay. And I guess I'll go ahead and play out this Elves. I guess this is a little bit worse if I, like, this doesn't give me double blue next turn, so if I draw something like Yorion or Venser, I can't play it since I sacked the, since I sacked the food. Okay. So dismiss this. Oh, wow, they just cracked their hand right away. Memory. Okay. Sure, that's fine. Maybe I could have considered playing the Gaia's Cradle last turn. In fact, I probably... Oh, no, I wanted to play Liliana. That's right. But getting Gaia's Cradle out of my hand would have been nice. Okay. They can vamp for something, but... Alright, I mean, I got Venser and Thoughtseize now, so I'm feeling pretty good. Like, I can Liliana, make my opponent discard, and then Thoughtseize them. So it's going to be pretty hard for them to storm off next turn. They're at 5 cards in hand right now. So far, I don't think I've seen another win condition other than the brain freeze. I'm not positive, but I don't think I have. What do I discard here? Elves, I guess. Caryatid. Probably elves. Let's Thoughtseize them. Okay, I'll take the Wheel of Fortune here for sure. I'll play a land, get a clue, play a Strix, draw a card, crack a clue, draw a card, crack a clue, draw a card. Oh, you know, well, too late. I probably wanted to make a food so that I could hold up Venser next turn, but I didn't, so. Oopsies. Or play Caryatid. Would have been good too, rather than cracking the second clue. Either of those options would have allowed me to do the thing I want to do. Okay, they can Manamorphose, but that's just spinning their wheel unless they hit like a draw 7 or something. They hit a land. No, they already had that land. So the last card is the one we don't know. But that's about to get discarded to our Liliana. So I'm liking where we're at. Each player discards a card. I will pitch a Blooming Marsh. Okay. Here I'll go ahead and play out... yeah, I'll play out Caryatid. Play the Cradle. Make a clue. For 6, I'll play Wormcoil. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can't quite kill my opponent. I could put them to 1. Or I guess I can't quite. Oh, could I have killed my... I might have been able to kill my opponent if I hadn't played this Wormcoil, actually. I didn't think about that. If I had fired up this Hissing Quagmire, I think they were dead on board. Well, that's okay. As it stands, we're just gonna get in for a bunch. Yep. And say go, I guess. Okay. So knowing that our opponent is Storm, how does that affect my sideboarding? Well, it makes Shriekmaw a lot worse. Fallen Shinobi's good because they're not going to have a lot of blockers. They didn't seem like a very permanent heavy version of the Storm deck, so I could consider Eureka. That's kind of funny. I mean, that's pretty bad if they just like put in like a bunch of mana sources in a jar, though. Did I want to try to do the Yorion thing? So how many like reasonable-ish cards do I have? Shriekmaw seems really bad against them, so I'm not counting that as reasonable-ish, really. It'd be like these cards would be the reasonable-ish. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more cards. So if I do that, 46. So how many? Okay, and then I can add, I don't know, like a bunch of green. I gotta add 14 lands. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, sure. I don't know. I'm not really counting super closely. This is 30 lands, so this is probably not optimal if I'm like trying to win. But you know what? It seems like fun, and I'm here to have some fun. So at this point, what the heck? Why not put in a Plains for this Revelark? Why not? Companioning. I think. Where's our companion? I've never played with a companion on Magic Online. Where did they go? Do I have a companion? Where's Yorion? Where's my friend? Maybe it'll appear after the like in a zone off to the side or something. I've companioned a bunch on Arena, but I haven't really done it. Okay. Sideboard. Okay, there we go. Choose up to one companion. Yorion. Okay. Haha. This hand's awesome. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh, this hand's so good. Just get to play like Tree Speaker into let's see. How do we sequence this? So I could play Elves on 1, and then on turn 2 I could play like Lotus Cobra into Tree Speaker. That doesn't quite work. Alright, I think given that, maybe I'll play like Tree Speaker on 1. Oh, this deck is so cool. Siding into the Yorion Companion against the Brain Freeze deck. I mean, it does make it significantly harder for them to kill us if Brain Freeze was their plan. You know, I'm gonna play this Gaia's Cradle because they've got like a bunch of draw 7s in their deck, so I would rather have the Gaia's Cradle in play than an Underground Sea or a Hissing Quagmire if they were to like Wheel of Fortune here. Trophy, okay. I don't really know how good Assassin's Trophy actually is. That's another one that's in the sort of sketchy category. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess. So I guess Elves is mana neutral, and then I can tap Cradle for 3. Or here I'll go Quagmire. Make a mana. Cradle, Tree Speaker, Wormcoil. Our draw was so sick. Like, we sided into so many lands, and then we had a 2-land hand with a great curve. Oh, we got so lucky this game. Our opponent could still win. I mean, like, Storm... When Storm goes off, it can really go hard, and their deck seems like it did have potential to go pretty big with Past in Flames and Demonic Tutor, Seething Song, Manamorphose. They got a lot going on. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hit them for 10. Ooh, Natural Order? Oh, yeah. Okay. So let's... Natural Order. Paying 2. Sacrificing the Elves of Deep Shadow. Commit! No! Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I guess in that case, I'll play out this Revelark. And hit them for a bunch. Opponent doesn't have any black mana, so they might have some, like, tutors stuck in their hand here. Okay, looks like they're trying to go off here. We'll see how far they get. Mind's Desire. Ooh, that's a desperation move. What do they hit? Like a Past in Flames would be really good. Wait, no, that wouldn't do it. Time Spiral's really good. That's probably about the best card they could have hit. It gives them another chance here. Ooh, we drew some fun ones. Can't play the Niv Mizzet Reborn, unfortunately. I guess we could. We've got red. We can make white with the Lotus Cobra. But we're kind of choked on our... Oh. Alright, maybe I just shouldn't get attached to any hands during my opponent's turn while Storm is happening. I mean, just pointing out here, if our, like... We're at 38 cards in our deck. If our opponent had... Like, if they were planning on killing us with a Brain Freeze, the Yorion tech is saving us right now. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. What happened? Okay. I accidentally clicked through to combat, but that's okay. We're fine. All right. Whew, that was scary. I think we have them dead here because we can Fallen Shinobi one of our attackers. They'll block the Wormcoil Engine, and we just Fallen Shinobi whichever one. Yeah, we can. We can do that. Of the Lotus Cobra or Draga Tree Speaker they don't block. Okay, so we'll go blue, black, whatever. Shinobi, the Tree Speaker. And that should be lethal. Woo! Okay. The Yorion Companion deck out of the sideboard. Got there. Alright. So that was kind of like a 2-1 because we got cut off in match 1 when we were in a pretty commanding position. So, well, that was a really fun deck. Thanks for joining me on this one. If you like this content and you want to see more of it, you can support my channel by liking, commenting, or subscribing. You can also support me over on Patreon. My Patreon is Ryan Hibbs, or sorry, patreon.com/Ryan Hibbs. I so appreciate all of my patrons and everyone who is watching my videos, and I don't know, I'm having a blast with the Vintage Cube. I'm excited to do more. Thanks for joining me.